Welcome to the Closer Experience, our midweek experience at the Leadership Church. Closer is a place where believers can grow closer to God. At TLC, we believe that making a spiritual development enhances our relationship with God, and that is more than a Sunday experience. And our Closer community provides just that. And now, the Closer Experience.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Closer Experience. My name is Pastor Alicia Cash, and I am joined by Nicole White, and we are so excited to jump on tonight for a fantastic cause. I have been waiting all day to engage everyone tonight for the Closer Experience because we're having our Closer-Thon, our first time doing a Closer-Thon like this in honor of HBCUs. And so I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have on my HBCU that says Hillman, So type it in the chat if you ever heard of Hillman University. And if you were a college student, if you're alumni of Hillman University, I want you to type it in the chat tonight. But I'm also joined by Nicole White.
Hillman College, Pastor E.
I'm sorry, Hillman College. That is correct. Thank you for the correction. The Hillman College, if you are alumni of Hillman College, correct it tonight. Please drop it in the chat. But I'm also joined by Morris Brown alumni, none other than Miss Nicole White. Say hello to everybody, Nicole.
Hello, everyone, and hello to the Brown Eyes out there watching. I encourage you to donate to this wonderful cause. Let's show up and show out like we know that Brown Eyes do.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you are a Brown Knight, please go ahead and show some love because we're going to be joined by another Brown Knight very soon. I have no choice. I'm sandwiched between Brown Knights on a weekly basis. I know that there's so much love right here in Atlanta, being born and raised right here where all a good bit of HBCUs are here. And if you're from Atlanta, then you know something about what we used to call the Atlanta AU Center, what none other than Morehouse, Spelman, Clark Atlanta, and D. Morris Brown. And so this will be the only time I say D. Morris Brown because I'm joined by Nicole White and in a few minutes, Joyce Littell. And so I have to pay respect to the universities tonight. And so we're so excited. We're going to have fun. But also while we have fun, we want to raise money for a right now cause. We all know, and we're not strangers to the work that our historically Black institutions provide our students. I didn't attend a historically Black college. That's why Hillman College was always dear to my heart because that experience, I lived through those characters that watched so dearly. And I thank Bill Cosby for creating something like that because if he had not, I would not have even had the personal aspirations that I did to want to attend a college. And so doing so, that provided so many opportunities for people to feel like that they can be academically inclined to want to attend an HBCU. But I believe that Miss Joyce Littell is on backstage, and so I'm going to bring her up. And if you would do me the honor of welcoming her as she leads us tonight in our Closer-Thon as we begin to fundraise for our college students. Miss Joyce Littell, would you come and join us?
I would love to. I don't know about you all, but I'm so excited about this Closer-Thon that the Leadership Church is doing. And thank you, Pastor E, for just pushing us and encouraging us to come up with different ways in which we can support and help the community. And this is one vital way that we can help by giving funds to deserving students who will be attending a historically Black college or university. I am a graduate of Morris Brown College, and I did not assume the name. Come on. You know we're going to show out, Nikki. We're going to So
I told you all that I was sandwiched between them. Then I
Oh, we coming in strong tonight. But had it not been for Morris Brown College, then I would have become Joyce Littell and have been in an industry that I love for over 42 years. But as a mass comm graduate, I started in my field soon after I graduated, and I know all the support, Pastor E and Nikki, that I received. Some of my mother's social groups in my church and the alumni of Morris Brown College, they all gave me money to attend the college and to become, some success by being at the school. And so, during this around Black History Month and what HBCU colleges and universities mean to me and us, then we just only felt like it was right to just include others to come and give so we can support our institutions for many years to come. So yes, I'm sort of slightly geeked, and looking forward to the night. So we ready to move?
We
So
ready to
we
move, Joyce.
All right. So
Absolutely.
we what we did was, first of all, we want to encourage all of our viewers tonight to give. There should be a donate button there someplace, and we want you to give tonight because, as Pastor E said, all of these donations are going to deserving students. And so we got on the horn, we got on the phone, and we reached out to some of our friends, family members, colleagues, co-workers, the whole nine, who had been graduates of HBCUs or had some form of participation in an HBCU to come on, talk about their experience, and to encourage you to give and to donate. And so it just gives me great pleasure to introduce our first guest tonight. Her name is Queen Sheba. Queen and I go back for many, many, many years. Queen is a renowned poet. Actually, she was just nominated for a Grammy. They messed up because they didn't give it to her. They messed up, but she was nominated, and she is a professor over at Clark Atlanta University. So I wanted to bring her on. First of all, she just know how to encourage people to give, and second, I just wanted to talk to her about why it's important to her to pour into the students at an HBCU and here at Clark Atlanta University. So, hey, Queen.
Hi, Miss Joyce, and thank you so much to is it Miss Erica and then Pastor. What's the pastor's name? Tell me, Pastor
Pastor E, and Nikki,
and
and
Pastor
all
E.
of the TLC members.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. So I also am an alumni of Hillman College because I too lived through those characters that Bill Cosby created, and I always wanted to be Jasmine Guy. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a part of that experience. I went to a PWI in Norfolk, Virginia. I went to Old Dominion University because when I went to Hampton University to apply, they told me that I did not have enough money to go to their school. So, because of causes like this, it touches my heart to know that you all are raising money for students to be able to go to an HBCU. So, this touches me directly because this is exactly what happened when I tried to go to Hampton University so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then when I moved to Atlanta, my boss, who is the chair of the English department at Clark Atlanta University, shout out to Dr. Georgine Best. She was such an advocate for me to come and work there in the English department. She knows that I'm a spoken word artist. She comes out to the open mics. She comes to the poetry events, and she was such an advocate for that fusion of the poetry, spoken word, working in the English department, and saying, "Hey, you know how to get the young people here to this HBCU." And I always thought, because of what I saw on television, because of Bill Cosby, and because of my positive experience with my friends who went to Tuskegee, that all the HBCUs for Black people were like the Ivy League for Black and brown people. And so that's how I treated my students when I teach at Clark Atlanta or or whenever I go to visit other colleges as an adjunct. Because I feel like when I had the opportunity to meet Cornell West when he was speaking at Norfolk State when I was visiting Virginia. And I asked them, and he was like, yes, Black and brown students need to know that we are here for them as well. And I thought that was amazing because they need to be treated like the HBCUs need to be treated like they are the Ivy League for Black and brown people, period. Tuskegee, Clark, Spelman, Norfolk State, Hampton, and on and on and on and on. FAMU, all of them. And so I think that it's incredible. It's an incredible experience to be downtown in the center of Atlanta, to be the heart of the city. And it's just this a crazy amount of support that happens in such a small community right there with I'm so glad that Brown is back because I didn't have the experience to see Brown when it was when it was in its heyday. And so I'm glad to see that it's back and be able
Thank
to
you.
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. And of course, Morehouse, the School of Medicine, that is amazing to have there and such a great example for men and women to know we have a School of Medicine for Black and brown people right in Atlanta. You can go and then become a surgeon around the world. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best experience ever. And so I definitely encourage everyone to give tonight. And I don't even know how much to give, but I'm gonna give. I am gonna give. I'm gonna go ahead and give part of my adjunct paycheck to your
Look,
cause.
text that to me so I can say it.
Yeah, okay, I will. I will. Let me see what's on my pay stub. Yeah, yeah, I definitely will. I
well,
definitely
well,
will. I'm thinking
well,
about $300 or so. I don't know
yes,
if that's yeah
yes,
about
yes, yes. Let's give a round of applause for
yeah about three
Professor
hundred bucks. I think I'm gonna
Poet
do $300.
Extraordinaire Queen Sheba for
Yeah.
starting this donation and these bits off. So thank you for your contribution to what you do in the poetry community. I love you for the relationship that you and I have and what you are doing for the students at Clark Atlanta University and any person or student that you touch throughout your journey. We need people like you to express the love that you have for your people and to help them in any way that you can so they can become successes, through hard work and through dedication. So thank you. I know you are at a show right now. And
Yeah,
I can.
you keep cutting in and out a little bit, but you're very welcome. There's a student that I want to give a shout out to. Her name is Winter Jones, and she goes to Spelman. She is a mathematics major there, and she loves poetry. So I definitely want to introduce her to you. She is going to be at the show that we talked about. I know that's not the platform for this, but I just want you to know that she knows you and she loves you. And so I want to introduce her to you. But she goes to Spelman, and she's a perfect example of someone that these causes need to raise money so that she can go on to grad school, et cetera, et cetera. And I aspire to be a millionaire like Pinky, who owns Slutty Vegan, so I can pay off somebody's whole tuition. And that's what I aspire to be.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for coming on this call. Thank you for giving your donation. And we appreciate you wholeheartedly. And of course, me always, TLC, whenever you need us, we are there for you. So thank you, Queen. Go back to your show. And I appreciate you stepping out, making this call with us, offering the donation and challenging others to do so because of the importance of what these students need when they attend an HBCU. Thanks, Sheba.
Thank you so much. Everybody, just remember that no amount is too small. So please give, please donate. Thank you so much, Miss Joyce. Thank you so much, Pastor E. And thank you so much, Miss Nicole. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, we in it now. We are in it. We just got a $300 donation from Queen Sheba going towards our HBCU scholarship fund, and we're going to keep this train on the track moving. So I want to bring up another colleague of mine. She and I work together every day, and she is the public affairs and news director of Odyssey Atlanta, which means that she delivers public affairs and news to all the radio stations here in Atlanta under Odyssey, which is V103, which is WAOK 92.9 The Game and Star 94. And I called her up because on any given day, if you see Maria Boynton, She got on Albany State shoes, socks, sweatpants, sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. She reps her school. So I knew she would be one of the people that needed to come on this call and talk about what an HBCU mean to her and why she chose Albany State. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, Pastor E, Nicole, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. You know, you talk about me dressing in the shoes and the hats and everything, except for today. I was with you all day today, Joyce. So I didn't have time to run in here and throw on any Albany State stuff. But I got to tell you, it is always an honor and a pleasure to represent when we talk about funding educations for students who need it. You know, too many times I have parents who will DM me and say, I need $500 more, or my child has got to come home. I mean, can you imagine being that parent who cannot fulfill the dream of your child? And they're having to, come up with a way to keep their child in school. Why? Because the monies are not just there, as they were. When I was going to school, there were grants, there were things of that nature. Taking a big hit, a big cut. The money is not there like it used to be, and our students are having to work more and more, to get it done. I am a graduate, as Joyce said, of the Albany State University. Of course, Albany State, ASU, Ram Buck, go Rams, boom.
We're gonna let you have it today. We're gonna let you have that today.
Ram Buck, boom. Oh. We are the largest public historically Black college and university, HBCU in Georgia. And I said public. And there are two others, Savannah State University and Fort Valley State University. And as a matter of fact, the three of us, we are the GAPS too, will be at the state capitol tomorrow talking to our lawmakers about what we need. As a matter of fact, there is a move afoot right now, and I'm sure it's not just for public HBCUs, but it's provided. There is a bill that has been dropped in the hopper to provide for that an HBCU graduate be included on the Board of Regents for the University System of Georgia. What a great idea is that? Because when it comes to our HBCUs and particularly public HBCUs, because we're the ones who depend on the tax dollars more so from the state, we need the income. We can see the University of Georgia, the Georgia Tech, getting 25 million or 50 million for a parking garage or for a dorm. We have to really go and I will say grovel. We have to become a lobbyist, and we have to go to our lawmakers and we say, can we please get this? Can you please get this in the budget? We have to talk to the right people. Whereas, a lot of these other schools, the big funding from the companies and the corporations is what gets them over. And there's a lot. I mean, we are a 4-year institution at Albany State University with a variety of academic programs. I'm proud to say that I currently serve on the board of trustees for the university. That is a rewarding point for me because of Albany State University. As Joyce, as you said, I am able to work in my field. When I got to Albany State, there was, I could hear someone while we were at dinner in the dining hall. Someone was actually reading news. And I said, wow, they do that. And then they had tryouts for it. And I said, could I do that? And the reason I know that God has fixed it for me to be in this space is because before I went to college, the local radio station, WOKS and WFXE, had a scholarship program where you could come and fill out an application. And so I got a ride. My uncle took me up to the radio station. I came back and my aunt had a guest at the house, and she said, where you been? And I said, well, I went up to the radio station to get an application, for scholarship. And that man, he was a guest of my aunt, said, I know you don't want to be no DJ, and just totally took the life out of me to where I did not complete the application. I did not turn it in, but God had it to where when I went to the Albany State University, enrolled, and then heard that they were having tryouts, and I said, I wonder if I could do that. And I did it. All we did, we went into the building, the admin building, and we did our news, for Southwest Georgia and Alabama and Florida. So that's where people heard me. I was Maria Boynton then. And then I got a call one day from the dean who said, hey, and I had just crossed Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
And we're going to let you have that one too.
And this is what he said, and you're going to give me another one. I'm going to give you this one. He said, he's a Sigma. And the dean said, hey, that radio station up the street needs an intern, and it's station WAKA. Well, really, it was radio station WKAK. He just, wanted to joke with me about all of that. And I got my first internship, and I worked, and my name there was Susan Kepler. And so I was Maria Boynton in some, areas, and I was Susan Kepler where my check came in at. So I didn't mind. But I got to tell you, I was able to cover the Challenger, explosion, things of that nature. I got my chops into this game, going back to my campus and trying to interview people for whatever was going on in the city at the time, and it was a great experience for me, and everything. And I got to tell you, Pam, the sportscaster with Fox Sports, when she was getting ready to leave Albany, Georgia, she said, "Susan, I think you should try for my job." And, and I wasn't ready to make the jump to TV at the time. And so I was like, okay. What's Pam's last name, Joyce?
I can't think
Pam.
of it.
Pam.
Yeah,
Pam
something.
from Fox Sports. But anyway, she worked in Albany, Georgia, doing local TV there, doing news. And I got to tell you, ASU, if you don't know, is located in Southwest Georgia, a member of the University System of Georgia. Multiple campuses. We're talking about the East Campus, a West Campus, because 2017, I recall, we merged with Darden College, which was a white institution, and we at HBCU, we merged, and we were fearful that we would no longer be recognized and be on top, but we came out on top, in terms of having the name to remain the same. We were able to retain our colors. We were able to retain our mascot, things of that nature. If any Albany State alumni, or if you attended at any time, if you attended Albany State and you are on this call, please donate. I will definitely be donating. And everything. And if you ever are down in Southwest Georgia, drive on campus and take a look. It is a beautiful campus. Wow. I got to tell you that
one of my sisters, I tell you about this all the time, but one of my sisters and one of my nephews actually finished, Albany State. And so they are just like you are. Every time you see them, they got something Albany State on. But Maria, we have so many people that wants to share and encourage folks to donate.
And I will shut up. I will. I didn't you're
a news person.
I'm tired. I'm so tired from being with you all day today. I'm exhausted. But for some reason, it just sparked something in me, seeing Queen Sheba and everybody, Pastor E, Nicole, Joyce, Littell. Thank y'all for allowing me to be here tonight. And we're going to match that $300 that Queen Sheba put in there. You got it. We're going to do it. Albany State represents, we know what it feels like to need money to go to school. And we think the times have changed, but for us and getting monies for school, we got to work just a little bit harder. I love you all. Thank you for having me. See you on the radio.
Thank you, Maria Boynton. You just heard it from Maria Boynton representing Albany State. She's giving up $300. Now, whoever want to match that or even exceed that, we'll take it. We will take it. And do know we will take any amount tonight because all of it equals up to that one pot. 1 + 1 will forever be 2. 2 + 5 will forever be 7. So we put it all in one pot. So whatever you can and are willing to give, we will take that. Let's keep it moving. I'm so excited about this. First of all, I want to send a shout out to Amanda Davis of Benedict College. She made a donation. She wasn't one of the people that's going to be online. She's looking, she's listening. And Amanda, please encourage other members of your family, friends, colleagues, neighbors to give as well. We got Susan. Hey, Susan. Thank you for coming on.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, now Susan, now what HBCU you representing?
I am representing the Morris Brown College, class of 1984.
Come on. Do you see my t-shirt? Where your t-shirt at, Susan? Where your t-shirt? So tell us about your experience at Morris Brown College and why do you feel like it's very, very, very important to give tonight or to give to your institution as well?
I came to Morris Brown in 1979, fresh out of high school, not knowing anything, a long way from home, and found a family, found an institution that treated me like I am a part of. We had to go to church on Sundays. We had to eat together in the calf, and we didn't have different meal plans. You had to eat what was served. We had professors who cared about the history of Black folk, who made sure if you didn't get it in high school, you're going to get it in college. We had a president, rest his soul, Dr. Threep, who I like Dr. Boynton said, we had grants, and sometimes we couldn't pay what we everything. So and we had work study, and thank God for work study. I would go to President Threep when it was time for testing because I couldn't pay before it was time to test. So I had to tell him, I promise when my check come in from work study, I am going to pay my balance. And so he was so kind and so thoughtful and made sure and allowed me to take my test. That happened semester after semester after semester. So the experience at a Black institution, a HBCU, for students that are far away from home and had not had the experience of what these children nowadays have. We were kind of sheltered. We didn't know how to step out there and do a lot of things, but because of Morris Brown College, I am who I am today, and I am so blessed to have been a graduate, a student and a graduate, an alumni, still very active at Morris Brown College.
Didn't you feel like, I'm sorry, Susan, didn't you feel like as a student there that you felt like you were with your family? Although you were away from home, you felt like you were part of a family.
Exactly. Exactly. And professors cared. They were like, you are going to make it. You are not going to fail. When they'll drag you in there and make you a part of and make you feel good about because you're new, you're young, you don't know what to expect even from college. So it was all very new for me, and I was very much. It was very much a family from the financial aid office to the dorm rooms to the classes. Everything connected. Everything was very much real and very much encouraging.
So Susan, encourage all of our viewers tonight to give, and why is it important to give and support our students at HBCUs?
Well, I am a grandmother of a granddaughter that attended Albany State University, and one that is a freshman at Tennessee State University. And there are struggles. There are real struggles. And we know from who our president is today that a lot of things are being cut, and our children are going to need a lot of support, a lot of financial support. So now more than ever, we need to wrap our arms around and our pocketbooks around our children and give. No amount is too small, and we'll take as much as you want to give. But our children need our help, and understand this is our future too.
Yes, it is.
What we graduating, what we're sending, supporting helps us as we get older.
Yes, it does.
Please give.
Well, thank you for coming on, Susan. Thank you for giving, and thank you for encouraging others to give. Go on my alumni. Soror, okay, it just gets even better.
It gets better and better.
It gets better and better. Thank you so much for jumping on. Thank you for your contribution, and thank you for encouraging others to do so as well. It's HBCU Closer-Thon that's going on, brought to you by the Leadership Church, where we are led by Pastor Alicia Cash, which we call Pastor E, and Pastor Tony, which we call Pastor T. That's why I love being a member of this church, is because they are so in tune to the needs of the community. But we need your help to help us move. Now, this next brother I would like to bring up. Now, this is my baby right here. This is my baby. Now he is my nephew. His mom is my sister-in-law, and he is my nephew, and he is doing so well, and he is such a gentleman. He is such a great guy. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about his business because he been doing it with the HBCUs. He started at Tuskegee University. Then he matriculated to Morehouse, where he graduated. Now he was a dual major, and one of the majors was civil engineering. So that took him to let me make sure I get it right, Ash. Let me make sure I wrote it down. North Carolina A&T, where he
Yes.
received his civil engineering degree. And I gotta give him some love and props. He was one of the engineers that broke ground and built on the Obama Presidential Library in Chicago, Illinois. Now, we didn't snatched him up here in the ATL and brought him back here, but he's still doing his civil engineer duty. So I had to give my baby a call, Asheville Williams, and have him jump on this call to talk about why he chose HBCUs and what have those HBCUs done for him and the success of his career. So welcome, Ash.
Thank you so much, Auntie. Thank you so much. You don't make me blush over here. I can't even. But why did I choose HBCUs? I'm gonna be honest. And when I was coming out of high school, I didn't have the best GPA. So I tried to go to a whole bunch of schools that didn't want to accept me in the first place. And the only schools that really took me in were the HBCUs, and one of those was Tuskegee University, and that's where I got my start in higher education, pursuing it as such. And like you said, I matriculated and went to the military and came back to Morehouse and North Carolina A&T, but they gave me that foundation. And I know it's cliche to say, but they gave me that foundation to maneuver and not only matriculate through that environment, but matriculate outside of that environment once I graduated and became actual civil engineer, working on large projects, bringing environments where we're bringing environments together where the culture was dynamic. And as far as the ethnic diversity, it was dynamic as well. And so to bring all those parties together and to have everybody move lock and step and move in one direction, focus on one goal, I feel like I give all that praise back to my education at HBCUs, learning how to communicate, learning how to move with consequence, and learning how to be intentional when I speak to people or just with anything and everything that I do. So I just give it all to HBCUs because they made me. Tuskegee made me. Morehouse made me. North Carolina A&T definitely sealed the deal and made me.
And they made you, honey. Thank you. I am so proud of you and the success that you have attained since graduating from all of those institutions. And as I mentioned, that's why I wanted to make the call to you, because it's no better people to talk about what an HBCU did for them than the ones who attended those schools. And you being transparent and being honest and saying, hey, it didn't always start off like this,
right?
But because of a HBCU, because of Morehouse, because of Tuskegee, they said, you know what, we're going to help this brother. We're going to help this brother, and we're going to get him on the right track. And boy, didn't they do it.
Didn't they?
So
whipped me into shape.
Look, do you have time for my stories? Some of them I'm just not going to even share. But HBCUs are vitally important to us, and that's why we are doing this Closer-Thon to raise money to support students that are going into HBCUs in 2024, 25, 26. And if we have to help some of those who are already there. We heard from one of our guests who said that, one student didn't know if they were going to have enough money to make it. And but people stepped in. So we want to be that. We want to give you money going in, and we want to help you while you are in. And so we thank you, Ash, for coming on. I want you now to encourage, any of your Tuskegee, Morehouse, Alabama, North Carolina A&T grads to donate tonight and give to this cause.
Absolutely give, because one thing my professor told me at Tuskegee, just starting off, and it resonates with me to this day, is life ain't no crystal stair. And we all need help. We all need to reach back and help somebody like we needed help or wanted the help when we needed it at that time. So I'm definitely pledging at least I'm pledging $200 to this campaign, and I'm going to encourage everybody to do the same.
All right, come on, let's give a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Ash, for pledging your 200 and encouraging others in your from your institutions to do the same. From an aunt that loves you dearly, I continue to pray for you and wish you greater success. You've had such great success already, but I just want to wish you greater success because of the human being that you are. And I know what you have done and what you have gone through, and yet you are standing, and you're standing tall, bold, black, handsome, and beautiful, and representing for your institutions. If all of you who are watching us right now, periodically we will flash our donation button up. So please give, please give, please give, please give. Want to say what's up to Tamara for giving a donation. We thank you so much for that. And let us know when you give. We'll shout you out. Now, I want to bring up, all these students had parents either then or now. And I want to bring up one of our members of TLC, Kevin Bascom, who has a daughter at Alabama State University right now. She is a freshman right now. And so I can imagine, what the stories that he can tell and the situations that he's come upon, and the need for us to continue to do this work. So, Kevin, welcome to this Closer-Thon, and thank you for taking the time out to share with us tonight.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you for having me, Joyce. This is awesome. The Closer-Thon. This is definitely needed. Thank you for allowing me to have a voice in this tonight, because as you just said, my daughter, just like Dr. Boynton just said, she talked about an ASU, which means Albany State University, but I want to talk about another ASU, which is Alabama State University, which is where my baby goes to school. And I want to talk about the experience that I had with her, because dropping her off at school was my first time actually doing it. Right. And before, when she was in high school, she was always just looking at HBCUs. Right. She didn't even look at any other schools. It was just all HBCUs. So that right there just made me proud in itself, because I'm so pro-Black. She just felt it. So I get that part. So for her to look at those schools, she didn't apply to nothing else. And when she got accepted to Alabama State, I was like, yes, my baby trying to do something. And then I did my own research on Alabama State. I seen that Rosa Parks went there. David Ralph Abernathy went there with some prominent figures who went to that school. And when we dropped her off in August for orientation, when we had to check her in, it was just cool to see all the young men, the young women, just all being checked in and having that one mission. And it was also cool see the fathers there, because we get a bad rep, but not doing anything. So it was just cool to see a lot of dads there checking their daughters in, checking their sons in, just for them to go through that whole journey. It was just awesome. So I feel amazed, and I feel blessed that she actually chose the HBCU, and she's going to get all the historical elements that comes with it. So yeah, I'm a proud parent of an ASU Hornet.
This is what I want to do, Kevin. I want to see if we can go ahead on and slide Zoe in on this call so she can talk about her experience right now and her roommate. Now, the roommate, please pardon Auntie, roommate, please pardon Auntie, because I've been trying to figure out that name, but you're going to have to help me with it. So we want to welcome Zoe and her roommate, who are currently students at Alabama State University. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Now, Zoe, introduce your roommate. So I can
this is my roommate, Zamaria.
Yes, Zamaria. Hey, Zamaria.
Hello.
So while we got Kevin on, who is Zoe's father, we want you to actually talk about your experience right now, because you are there right now and some of your needs. You know, we're encouraging people to give because we want to give scholarship to students. So just give us a little bit of what's going on at Alabama State. Alabama State.
Get it right.
They was gonna check me, weren't they? Like, I know she did.
But no, it's nice. It shows you a lot, like how the real it's like it really does prepare you for Dad, stop laughing. But it really does help you, like, it really does prepare you for the real world, and it shows that you are, you know, growing up in it, that you are turning into a young adult for real. Like, it really shows you how expensive life is and how expensive you can be. Like, I really do have to buy my own tissue and like I have to change the tissue out. Like I have to buy groceries and dish soap because I gotta actually do dishes. Like it just shows you like things that you're not used to doing or that you weren't really having to do as much at home. You have to do now. So it's a nice experience. Like you get a little taste of growing up, but you still, you know, are young and you learning and things like that. And you got to go to class still because you are still in school. Definitely. So it's like a balance. It's like you living your life because you're like a young adult, but you're also still having to like handle things. Yeah, like you still have to handle your business. Like you still have to go to class and make sure that, yeah, I'm going to this party on Sunday, but I know I got to wake up at 9:30 in the morning on Monday. Like you got to remember things like that. So it's an overall learning experience. Like it's just a very big learning experience.
Well, being your aunt and seeing you come into this world and seeing you at this space, I must commend you and to congratulate you on matriculating and having the ability to understand that it's a different life and I got to grow up and I got to do the things that need to be done so I can, you know, be a successful person in life. So I commend you, Zoe, as your auntie. I commend you for what you are doing and the efforts that you are putting in to better your life by being a student at Alabama State. As a matter of fact, my husband's oldest daughter, Kimberly Jackson, she actually was a queen and graduated from Alabama State. So we have some connection there, Zoe. So say the name again.
It's Demaria.
Demaria. I'm sorry. You know, I got gray hair, so check me on that. So tell us about your experience because you came from further north, didn't you?
Yes, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow. You that's a trek. You know, what led you to Alabama State?
Well, it's called Common Black app, and you can like apply to over like 100 HBCUs for only like $20. And so I got accepted to so many HBCUs, and then I toured, and Alabama State was just the one for me. And so I just came here, and Alabama State has been such a good experience. I have a work study job, so I have a job in academia. I work with sports equipment, and it's just been a really good experience. Also in my major class as well.
Well, great. Well, Kevin, how does that make you feel?
Awesome. Can't stop smiling. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I swear, I love to hear it. Y'all make me so proud. Just hearing y'all say that, y'all make me so proud. Really do. Y'all stay.
So I need my students, and I need my parent to encourage people to give because you know what that financial support does for you currently as a student. And Kevin, you know what it does as a parent who's trying to keep your student there. So I need for you all to give a big shout out and encouragement for all those who are viewing us tonight to give.
Yes, thank you
Yes.
to everyone who
Thank you
has
to-
donated. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you to everybody who is donating. And yes, keep donating. College is
It's
expensive.
expensive.
College is expensive. Whether you're in state, out of state, next door, right down the street, your tuition is still has to be paid. Things have to get paid. Things happen. You know, your closet could just break down one day. Next thing you know, you got to put in a work order and get it fixed. That's expensive too. Like, it's things that just happen.
Yes.
Just
Definitely support your HBCUs because Black kids need it. We need it, y'all. We
especially
really
with
do.
who our president is. You never know. He already tried to take us down once. We
Yeah.
might even get us again. So just
really
support us.
Support your community because we really need it.
Well, thank you both, and continue to work hard to dedicate yourself to your journey. And we're here to support you as often as we possibly can. Thank you all so much. And Kevin, you give an encouragement and an effort for folks to call.
Yeah, I don't even know how to follow up what they just said. They kept it all the way funky. Like, these kids need things, and it's not cheap. You know, whatever they need, you know, we're used to providing for them. But you know, it takes a village, y'all. You know, it takes a village, and like you said, every dollar matters, every cent matters. So whatever we can give, it's all going to the right place. So thank you for all who's donated so far and who's going to donate in the future. It's definitely
all right. Well, thank all of you. We have a Courtney Wiles who have donated, and we want to thank her for that. As you heard from our students over at Alabama State University, it's expensive. You know, it's expensive to be a student today. And even back in 1979, when I enrolled in Morris Brown College and graduated in 1983, it was expensive then. I believe it's a little bit more expensive, but even back then it was expensive. So we are at the Leadership Church just trying to do our part, just trying to be a part of a community that people will know we are always there, doors open wide to support and help in any way that we can. I got to also bring up another beautiful person that has been a part of my life ever since birth. And she's also my niece. She is right now a student at Southern University Law School, but she started her journey at Johnson C. Smith, and she went over to, let me get it right, Jada. She went over to, was it North Carolina Central for a minute, but she landed at Southern University. And on May 17th, all roads lead to Southern University, where she will get her Juris Doctorate from Southern University Law Center. And so I want to welcome my niece, Jada Haynes, to come aboard and to talk about, you know, her experiences at HBCUs and why she chose them, although she's from a family that went to HBCUs, and that was pretty much where she had to go. But anyway, she chose Johnson C. Smith to get it all kicked off and started. And you can see on her t-shirt that she has Johnson C. Smith, but behind her, she has Southern University Law School. So welcome, Jada, and thank you for taking the time out to jump on this call to let people know how important it is to support HBCUs and what those schools did for you. Share some of those joys with us.
Okay, so actually I did. So I have a couple transitions at NCCU, but I do have my master's from there. So I have a degree from all three. So they all are important. And my original thought is what you just said, as far as I was introduced to HBCUs because of family and just the community that I grew up in general in Athens, Georgia. Everyone that I encountered that was inspirational in some sense. And I know you're gonna turn your nose up. I'm about to shout out my sorority, the Theta. So most people,
whatever.
most people that I encountered that, you know, made an impact in my life all were HBCU graduates. And so I already had that community that I grew up in. So it was only natural that I wanted to still stay in that community when I matriculated for my career, because a lot of times we get the misconception that HBCUs do not produce good career people, but that's far from the truth. And it's actually how I have gained the success that I have by choosing HBCUs every step of the way, because our communities care so much about us. They're on us so much to make sure that we are the best candidates to go out in the world. And we have the merits, that the argument is we have the merits to go out into the world and shine. Any opportunity that I have gotten, I know has come from my training at each HBCU that I went to. And then the icing on the cake is that I got my best friends at HBCU, at Johnson C. Smith. My best friends that I am still with to this day came from my HBCU experience. So it's just, I owe everything that I do to my community, which started with the HBCU and is ending with the HBCU.
I'm telling you, I mean, I can attest to all of that. You know, my friends, and we all met when we went off to college, and when I got to Morris Brown. Some of my bestest of best friends, 40 something years later, are still friends because of the relationship and the culture that we received while we were on Morris Brown campus. Now, Jada, tell our viewers why it is important to support financially opportunities like this, with this Closer-Thon that we are doing, that we are trying to raise money so we can give back to students.
Oh, it's so important, especially with smaller HBCUs. Like I attended Johnson C. Smith, and Johnson C. Smith is also private. Private and small HBCUs and all HBCUs really need your funds to keep us going, because we aren't getting all the government funding. And even the schools that are getting the government funding, it's not what, you know, the headlines think it is. Like, our communities are tight, and we need the support so that students, it is a really sad situation that we see every year that I've been enrolled, that I have classmates that are no longer enrolled with me because they were short a couple dollars or even a lot of dollars. So it's truly a blessing when we have people to donate to our universities and put in the time with us, the time and money, because trust me, it is going to a good place. You are really helping us to succeed so that we can then give back and keep this ball rolling. So it's extremely important to make sure the HBCUs are funded so that we can make renovations and make the schools better for students to want to actually come to our universities.
There you have it. So please give, because we have students like Jada, we have students like Zoe, and we have others that are going to come on that needs our funding, that needs the support that the Leadership Church is giving to them. Jada, I look forward to seeing you march across that stage on May 17th and get your Juris Doctorate from Southern University Law School. And so I can call you for some law stuff for free. But anyway.
That too, and I look forward to.
Can you do a pro bono for me, Jada?
I was just about to say, I look forward to after that time that I am able to fully support causes like this, because I definitely want to get behind it, and hopefully that JD will make me be able to give as much as I am encouraging everyone to give today.
Well, thank you, Jada, and much success to you. Looking forward to you again on May 17th when you graduate from Southern University Law School. Our students are out there, y'all. They are out there doing their thing. There are high school students at schools here in the Atlanta metro or wherever you're viewing us from that are preparing themselves to take their education to the next level. But sometimes one thing might stop them from that opportunity, which could be money. And so, you know, the Leadership Church with our lead pastor, Pastor Tony, and Pastor E, they know that it is on us to support our students and to give them what we can when we can. But we do need your help. We need your financial support and contribution to do that. Now, I want to bring this next person on. Earlier, we had a young gentleman by the name of Asheville Asheville Williams, who was on. He was the one that started at Tuskegee, went over to Morehouse, graduated, and then went to North Carolina A&T, where his mama is on the call now. But I wanted Stephanie to come on because she was a unique situation. And I believe she would even be encouraging to some of our seasoned viewers tonight. Because if you have been contemplating either going to an HBCU later in years, or you didn't quite finish your HBCU and you know one day you want to, then she's your encouragement because past her 50s, and I'm not going to say what the age was, if she can and she won't to, but past her 50s, she chose to go to Spelman College and she graduated. So thank you, Stephanie, for taking the time out to come on this call to talk about why you said, you know what, I want my degree and I want it from Spelman. Tell us why you went back, and also tell us what that experience was like as a senior in the class with some of them freshmen and sophomores. Welcome to the Closer-Thon on the Closer Experience from the Leadership Church.
Well, thank you, Joyce, for having me. What an honor to just even speak on it. I had an opportunity to attend one of the most intellectual institutions, there is, and that's how I feel about it. And it gave me an opportunity. It gave me an opportunity like no other. When I first started, and I was 50 when I started Spelman College, I was, and I said, my kids are in school. Ash was in school. My oldest son, Ronald, was at Howard University at that time. So I just said, I am going to do something for myself. And so I didn't apply to any other school. I applied to Spelman College because that's where I wanted to go. There was a program there at that time when I started back in 2008. Called the Pauline D. Drake Scholars, and it was for women that were returning back or just wanted to start to get their degree. I had transfer credits, so I was there from 2008 until 2010. And when I tell you that sisterhood at Spelman College is like no other, although, yes, there was a little intimidation because everybody on campus was old enough to be my daughter. And and so, but they were engaging. So I became on campus, instead of Miss Williams or just not knowing me, I became Miss Stephanie. And that was so warming for me. Um, like I said, a little bit of intimidation because I was always the oldest one in the class. But when I graduated, prior the quarter before I graduated, I was not. So there were a lot of women. There were a lot of us on campus. But the reason why I think I had the best experience because the perspective that was taught, the history that was taught, and the people that taught it, the professors. I would sit in some professor's office and, I didn't know everything I needed to know. But we would just talk about life. And so when I took that back to the classroom, it just gave me all the opportunity to say, yes, I can do this. And Spelman College gave me something that no other has ever given me, and that's confidence. My confidence level was just beyond, it was just over my head to where I felt like I could do anything, I could be anything, I could accomplish everything, and I did. And so I never thought that it was too late because it was not, because I learned a lot. I learned so much. And so never say never. And I didn't. Graduate, I was so proud of myself because I did it.
Mm-hmm.
It got difficult because there were things that I didn't understand, but I had two sons that were in school at the same time, and we got through. So I encourage anyone that's thinking about it or contemplating with it just to do it. And then after that, I kept going
Mm-hmm.
because my mind had woken up, being on campus with all those little beautiful valedictorians over there at that particular time. And they were just amazing. And so just like I said, I encourage everybody, just to never, ever give up. And I solicit now to the closer-thon that you all guys are doing right now, to all my Spelman sisters. I'm going to pledge $200 tonight, and I'm hoping that if you're listening, that you will actually do the same.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. And by the way, Stephanie is my sister-in-law, and I just respect her so wholeheartedly for taking on the challenge that she did as a senior student and accomplishing all the things that she has done. As she mentioned, she did continue to further her education at Emory University as well as the University of Georgia. So it does not have to stop. As long as your brain is functioning, then and you want to pursue your education and taking your levels higher, then you have the capability of doing that. Thank you, Steph, for your contribution of $200. And as she mentioned, she is challenging all our Spelman viewers to give a contribution of that amount, lesser or more. We take all that you are willing to give. Now let's keep it going. Now this is my girl right here. D. Dawkins Hagler. I have known Dee for a very long time from afar, because I would be in rooms with her, but she had that look like, if you coming with some foolishness, don't come up here to me. But I had the pleasure, once I became manager of WAOK, our news and talk station, to be in her company a little bit closer, because she would come on some of our shows and be at some of our live events, participating in some of our efforts to get voters out, to encourage voter registration, to encourage you going to the polls and actually voting. And then I saw how she moved and how she spoke. And so I reached out to her and said, would you please become the host of the WAOK morning show? And she said, yes, thank you for that. And she has been doing the Wake Up with Dee morning show since December 23rd. So please tune in each and every morning, Monday through Friday, from 7 until 10. I promise you, you will be entertained. You will be inspired. You will be informed. And you might be called. Don't call me with this foolishness. But anyway, I want to welcome Dee Dawkins Hagler. Now, Dee is representing South Carolina State, Kentucky State, and ITC in the Turner Seminary. So welcome, Dee, and thank you for coming on the Closer-Thon and sharing your experiences with HBCUs, and why is it so important that we continue to support our students and our institutions.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me tonight on your Closer-Thon. I have to be excited because HBCUs made me. I am the woman I am today because of the education and the camaraderie and the nurturing I received on the campus of an historically Black college and university. And I love it so much, I didn't go to one, I went to four actually. And so, 4 HBCUs, and then 2 of my children also attended HBCUs. Some went to Spelman. My daughter went to Spelman, and one of my sons went to Morehouse, and both of them went to Morehouse School of Medicine undergraduate. So HBCU is in my blood. I met my husband on the campus of South Carolina State University, and we've been together 30 plus years. So that is, our love started there. So our children are also the products of 2 people who met on the campus of an HBCU.
Well, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit more about your experience as a student at an HBCU.
So basically, going to HBCU, first of all, for me was like life-saving. I'm from West Columbia, South Carolina. In the high school I attended, the population was about 10% African American. So the first thing I wanted to do was get away and go to a school that had Black people. I mean, I wanted to go be around some people that look like me. And so when I got to the campus and I saw these Black people, I was like, Lord have mercy, I have arrived. Where have you been all my life? And so just to be around all of that brilliance, I didn't understand then at that age just how brilliant we were, but the brilliance is real. Because the friendships I made on that campus, those are my friends today. And we're talking about 30 plus years later, because the professors, they mentored you, they loved you, they talked to you like you were their children or their nieces and nephews. They didn't give you a break. They didn't, accept mediocrity. And so that is what you get when you go to a HBCU. They're fully invested in you, in your education, in your livelihood, and they believe in you and everything that you can do in the future. So I got to give it to my HBCUs.
Well, please, Dee, encourage our viewers to give to this Closer-Thon, which is fun of monies being raised for support of our students at HBCUs.
Absolutely, because I met on the campus of South Carolina State University with my husband. I'm myself going to give $100, and I'm challenging everybody who went to South Carolina State University to please give. You went to Kentucky State University. Matter of fact, me and my husband went to Kentucky State University together as well and graduated together as well. So we went from undergrad to graduate school together. And so that's just a joy. So if you attended South Carolina State University and Kentucky State University, you need to give. You have no reason not to give a little something, because a little bit goes a long, long way.
Well, thank you, Dee Dawkins Hagler. I got to take just a brief moment to thank Dee on a whole different occasion. So we had a station at Atlanta Cluster Station event today called the and Dee came in with these frames, and who knew. And what she did was, before Biden left office, she sent a word and said, there are 4 people in which I need for you to award and accommodate the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from former President Biden. And he did. And guess what? The 4 people was myself, and you see my medallion. I have the pen, and I have the official letter, and I have the certificate framed. She gave it to myself, my boss, Rick Caffey, Wandalyn Stokes, and Derek Bozeman. So, Dee, thank you for thinking of us and allowing us this opportunity to receive that award from our president, because we in these streets hard trying to do what we can do, and without us knowing, you recognized that, and you recognized us. So thank you so much.
And it was well deserved, well deserved. So where do I go to get? Oh, I donate with this QR code. I see it. Let me just scan it right now on my way out.
All right. Well, thank you, Dee. We got to keep it rolling, because we got so many people who want to be on this call and to talk about, why HBCUs are important to them. And I want to bring up Xavier Peoples. How you doing, Xavier?
Very well. And yourself?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As you can see and hear, we are in the process of just raising funds for deserving students of HBCUs. But I want to thank you for your interest in helping those HBCUs receive some type of funding. You actually founded the HBCU Change. If you could come on and just tell us what that is, what it's about, and then offer a pledge to our viewers.
Yeah, so HBCU Change is an organization. We've given $4.5 million to 46 different HBCUs over the last 2.5 years. And so, as a matter of fact, I heard your previous speaker, Dee Hagler, went to South Carolina State University. Just yesterday, I gave South Carolina State $15,000. And so we are really serious about supporting HBCUs and giving them all of the financial tools and resources that they need to continue to be great. And so that's my passion, that's my philanthropy, and we do it day in and day out.
Well, tell us what the HBCU change is and how can we be a part of it to help you continue to help these institutions?
So HBCU changed. So we've changed our model. So we had an app, but we no longer have an app. But now we're doing the app for each individual school. So an example would be coming soon. We're starting with Alabama State University, and we're giving Alabama State University their own individual app to round up change. And what happens is that the alumni of Alabama State University, they connect their debit and their credit card to the app, and it rounds up every transaction to the nearest dollar. So an example would be if you buy a cup of coffee for $3.75, it rounds that transaction up to $4, and it gives 25 cents to your university. And what we found is that the average person rounds up about $27 per month. And so for a school like Alabama State University that has 40,000 active alumni, if only 10,000 people signed up, that's 270,000 a year, over $3 million. 270,000 a month, over $3 million a year going to Alabama State University. And so we are excited about individualizing these apps for each HBCU so their alumni and supporters can consistently give back to each HBCU.
And I mean, and that just sounds so easy to me. Just rounding up, what you are spending and giving it to the institution that got you where you are today. So we commend you for having the innovation and the idea to do what you are doing in support of the HBCUs. Now, Xavier, would you offer a challenge to our viewers to support what we are doing and then to let them know how they can support what you are doing?
Yeah, so I will make a donation of $500 tonight, and
Thank you.
I would challenge any and everyone to match my $500 to the Closer-Thon and support any and all HBCUs, because we need them, especially in times like that we're in today. HBCUs are very, very important, and so support.
Well, thank you so much. And we wish you much success in any way that we can continue to support what you are doing. Please let us know. We know you are the brother of our executive pastor, Pastor Alicia Cash, and we thank you for joining us and sharing your resources and giving the $500 to the Closer-Thon. Thank you so much. Yeah, you hear it. You hear it. The monies are coming in. I want to shout out Alma, who gave $100, Courtney, who gave $50, Jeanette, who gave $100, Christopher, who gave $50, Tamara, who gave $50, and Barbara, who gave $50. So let's continue. I am so excited about what we are doing, and I thank you all so very much on behalf of the Leadership Church, where our pastors are Pastor Tony Cash and Pastor Alicia Cash. We thank you for giving of your financial resources so we can continue our support of students who are either enrolled or going to enroll in a HBCU. So our next guests are Regine. If I said that incorrectly, please check me. And Jasa. If I said that wrong, you can check me on that as well. But I want to welcome you to the Closer-Thon and thank you for coming on. Now, you got to tell me a little bit about yourselves and if you are enrolled in an HBCU, and then why did you feel like it's important to jump on this call to encourage people to give? Either one of you can start.
I can go first. Hi, my name is Jasa Sangsarich, and you did say it right, so I'm really proud of that. I'm a student here. I'm a sophomore at Savannah State University. Before I go back into it, I did want to say like a little bit of pre-history before I decided to go to Savannah State. So I really grew up in a predominantly white area. I feel like towards high school, I kind of went into a little bit more diversity into my high school, but I always said I wanted to not go to a HBCU. I never thought about a HBCU. Like, I even toured different schools. I went to FAMU. I went to all these different schools. And when I went to FAMU, I just did not feel the vibes. Like, I was just like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of a lot going on here. I don't know if that's my vibe, because I'm really like an inside type of person. But, you know, I ended up here at Savannah State, and I've been here for 2 years now. And I can say, like, I genuinely enjoy this school. Like, I feel like if I were to go to a PWI, I wouldn't get as much community and just like the feeling of like family as being at a HBCU would have given me than being at a PWI. But that's a little bit about me. So I'm gonna let Regine talk.
Okay. Well, thank you. And 4 members of my family, my mom and 3 of my sisters went to Savannah State. So you in good company.
Okay, so hi guys. My name is Regine, and I also am from a predominantly white school, like a high school. All my life, I have been around people that didn't look like me, and the people that did look like me, they did not have any goals or just anything they wanted to do in life. So I've always wanted to go to a HBCU. I've always had my eye on NCAT, which is where I attend, North Carolina State University, Aggie Pride. Okay. I've always had my eye on them, and so when I got in, I was elated. And when I came here, you definitely have a sense of community. And I definitely found that there were more people that look like me that have goals that shoot up to the sky. I mean, it's incredible, and there's a lot of my peers that I look up to. There's a lot of leadership here. There's a lot of community. There's a lot of empowerment. There's a lot of legacy, and it just amazed me. Like, wow, like we're really all in this together. Like they're trying to get us up there, and it really creates a platform for us as colored students and as women in general to put us in these fields. And I don't know, it's just a step up, and I love it. So.
Well, thank you both. I need for you all to encourage our viewers to give to this Closer-Thon, because the monies that we are raising are helping students such as yourselves. So please give a word of encouragement to encourage them to give.
I want to encourage you guys to give, I would say even at least $50. Like that can fill a student's gas tank, and we need that. So I say $50. That's all we're asking.
Regine? I think we lost Regine, but great. You all hang in there. Continue to be great students at both of your institutions as we work hard to continue to support you. Thank you for jumping on, and we wish you much success in your endeavors as students at at Savannah State and at North Carolina A&T. We're going to keep this thing moving because we want to continue to collect these dollars. Okay, we want to shout out Ebony Smith, who gave $100. We're at a grand total right now of $1,820. Now we want to hit them too. As a matter of fact, we had a goal. We started our goal of 3,000. Now I'm not going to get off this Closer-Thon until I hit it. I'm saying that. So we have planned to be on till 9, but if we have to. But now I want to bring on another great niece of mine. I mean, I love her to death, as I do all of them, but she one of them too. She is a graduate of Tennessee State. She wear her, what is it, blue and red proudly. She wears it proudly, and she represents them proudly. So let's welcome Tiffany Drayton, graduate of Tennessee State. Hey, Tiffany.
Hey, I had to be here. Look, you talking about money given to students, and I was one who needed the money, so I needed to be here.
Well, tell us about your experience and why going to a HBCU was important to you. And do you feel like having gone there have propelled you to who you are and what you are doing now?
I think it was, I'm sure Jada said it too. It was kind of like a requirement, or you had to. HBCU was already in our blood when we got here. So I don't even think I applied to any other school but HBCUs. And I didn't know how much of a community you were going to get. Like hearing it from my aunts, my mom, until you get there, you know what community means when you get to a HBCU. I was a homebody and I left whole Georgia to go to Tennessee. And I think I flourished. Like that was my coming out of being who Tiffany is now. I had to get that from an HBCU. Like the professors that push you beyond what you think you can do, to friendships that are long lasting, that we don't even live close to each other, but I can call them today and we talk like we're back in Wilson Hall freshman year. So HBCU changed me for better. Like everybody has that experience of changing who you are, but this was the HBCUs changed you for the better. So I'm all about it.
Well, I know you just like a lot of family members. We rep all day, every day, all day, every day. We are always repping our HBCUs, and you definitely is an alum of Tennessee State. I just want you to give just a little bit of why you know and feel that it's important to attend a HBCU homecoming.
Oh, now that's the biggest cookout family reunion you're ever gonna get. Like it's required. I tell people, if you can't even go to your own, like if you don't live in that city anymore, go to somebody else. Like
Yeah.
that HBCU transcends. Like we went to Jada's Southern University, and I was at home, like
Mhm.
I was in Louisiana. So that HBCU homecoming is that family reunion to you, so you can breathe. So people of color can breathe. Like
Yeah.
just kind of just
Yeah.
in the world now, you need that space of like to be you. And an HBCU
Yeah.
homecoming allows you to just be us. You have to
Yeah,
experience.
it does. It does. I won't miss one. So encourage our viewers to give to this Closer-Thon in support of our scholarship fund for our HBCU students.
Okay, this is my call out to my big blue country for you to give money. And I'm calling it out because I needed that money at one point. I was
Mhm.
that student who got a scholarship from a church, who got a scholarship from United Negro College Fund, who got a scholarship from the guy who just came on at Zeller, who needs that money. So I am imploring, pleading to not just Tennessee State University alumni, to any HBCU alumni to give to these students because it is needed. It's required
Mhm.
because it's required in higher education beyond. I work in higher education now, not at a HBCU, but HBCUs need more help than they're going to get from our government, from what needs to happen. So it has to come from us. It has to come from the people who love it, who wants to keep them around. So I charge you to give to this scholarship fund.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your time and letting us know what HBCU means to you and what it did for you to become the Tiffany Drayton that you are. We appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for sharing your time with us here at the Leadership Church Closer-Thon. Thank you, Tip.
Thank you.
We got to keep it moving because we got to get more and more people in to give these dollars now. This next person is a sorrow of mine. She's like a sister of mine from another mother. And she's also one of my dear friends from Marsh Brown College, sorority sister of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. She is she's a counselor with the DeKalb County school system. And when I called her up, she was excited about wanting to be a part of this Closer-Thon because she too have gone through an HBCU and have become Dr. Tanita Good Jones Marilla. So thank you, Tan. Look at it. Look at us. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. so, so so now we call her Tan, but we're gonna be respectful tonight and call her Dr. Good Jones. So what did Marsh Brown and HBCU mean to you?
Oh God. Uh, First and foremost, let me just for my rebuttal to say for all those who came before me on this call, is now other like MBC. We are the pattern. We are the I think we are the pattern for HBCU. How about that? But again, I salute all our HBCUs as they all have said. Morris Brown, found by Blacks for Blacks. And I stand on the shoulders of our ancestors for that, being that Atlanta is a mecca of African Americans for the most part, and well educated for the most part. Morris Brown College, again, as I heard others say, growing up, Joyce, as we know, back in the day, we grew up in a community from Athens to throughout Philadelphia, what have you. Whereas everybody was part of your family. Everybody, no matter were in a Black community, and going to a African American college, HBCU college, gave me that as Tiffany had shared. They was the professors, the professor, men and women, were your mama and your daddy away from home. And I did not know that until I arrived there. And when I start to trickle in late, professor would call us out and say, you know, they saw you had been in class. They'll say when you be half sleepy, they know when you went out, they'll call you out. And that was something that your parents would do. And you were so, it made me feel as though I had so much respect for that. It made me continue to college, even if I wanted. At some point, I didn't want to go to college, but I was afraid that being that they was more like a parent to me, that they would actually call my house and call your parents because they knew when you was not in school, when you came to class late, or you was missing days. They was the root. I think they was the neck to the Black students' head at Morris Brown College. Like I said, we stand on the shoulders of Jose Williams and the mayors and mayors that came through those institutions. And they continue to raise money for us because they knew, again, as I look back, growing up with my grandparents, I look back and I said, who helped me pay for this college? How did I get through Morris Brown? Because I know my mama and my family did not have money for me to go to college. And it was those professors and those the staff member from the financial aid office to what have you. They put money in your pocket. They made sure that when they saw that you wanted to do that, they pushed you, they gave you, they scrapped money from all kinds of fundraisers from near and far to help me, as others have said, to continue my education. And I would do it again. I had went to 2 or 3 other PWIs to finish off my specialist, my doctorate degree. But if it wasn't from dear old Morris Brown, where would I be?
Yeah.
And I challenge all of you, again, and being a part of the sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, supporting HBCUs was an initiative that we do raise scholarship funds for. And so not only through the sorority, but we can't get enough organizations, we can't get enough community people such as our Black churches, any organization, whether would you be in, whether it be a girls club, to support HBCUs. As others have said, we will not go back, and we can't go back, and
No,
we
we
have
can't.
too
We
many.
can't. We
We
won't.
cannot,
That's
and
what that is. It's not that we can't. We won't
we won't
go
go back.
back. Yeah.
And I salute you, the leadership church, for standing in the gap as well. It was no way. I'm not going to say, and then to everybody who's listening, even if you're part of a group, a sorority or fraternity that support scholarship, we still have to we have to be like the branch of the tree. We got to keep reaching out. We got to keep reaching out. We got to be with the apple that fall from the tree, from the roots of our ancestors, for the root of the betterment of our children, our future. As my grandmother would say, as she prayed for us, I understand by and by, you not only pray for who's in the present, but we got to pray for our future. and we're going to keep on standing on our HBCU, and we're going to do what we do. And with that said, I challenge everybody on the sound of my voice. I'm going to, in addition to my other pledges for HBCU school, directly to Morris Brown College and through our sorority, I'm going to pledge $100 as well. And I challenge everyone else, whatever you have, is no amount that the HBCU, as Mr. Xavier shared, change round up, change up. Give your change, because we can take it all, because we still have, we got a future to build, and ongoing. And I thank you for giving me this time, this platform to share the love that I have, not only for Morris Brown, but for all our Black institutions of higher education. Because if it wasn't from them, where would we be?
We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have gotten a Lifetime Achievement Award from the president had I not gone through Morris Brown and became a radio broadcaster. So, you know, I could go on and on about what that institution did for me. And, you know, I started in a space, like Tiffany mentioned, a space of shyness. But when you get in with your people and with your folk, you know, all that go away. They will take all that away. So thank you, Dr. Tanyita Good Jones. I've also invited Dr. Good Jones to our women's ministry this Sunday, and she have agreed to come out and be with us on Sunday. So thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And thank you for the donation that you just give. Dr. Tanyita Good Jones from Morris Brown College. Thank you so very much. Now, I do have a bunch of folks from Morris Brown, because that's where I went, and I sent a message out, and several jumped on the call. So we want to bring out another educator who went to Morris Brown College and who's already given $100. So I'm going to help her challenge others to do so. But I first want to welcome Ebony Smith to the Closer-Thon here on the Leadership Channel, the Leadership Church Closer Experience Wednesday night. We have extended it for 2 hours because we truly want to raise these funds to help support our students. I want another total, because I told y'all, I know that was for my teacher right here. I know that wasn't the proper English when I said I done told y'all. If my mom was here, she would have corrected me. But I done told y'all we gonna get $3,000 tonight. So Ebony, thank you so much for coming on. Tell us why you chose, and you're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, Stiller Town.
We don't like them Steelers. We don't like them Steelers, okay? But we love you. We love you. And why, coming from Pittsburgh, you chose to come to Morris Brown College?
Yes, I chose Morris Brown. Actually, I came on a Black college tour. And when we came to Atlanta, I mainly chose Morris Brown for the city of Atlanta. But once I got there, as Dr. Tan said, and you know, Morris Brown College truly changed my life. I mean, from just the people I met, my professors. I still have my same best friend for 30 years now that I met on the campus of Morris Brown College. And I just couldn't ask for a better support system. It was the love that I was given. When I was struggling, my professors, you can go to their office, you can give them a call. Morris Brown College was like a family, and they supported me. And I was far away from home, and I knew I needed that. And they gave me everything I needed, just the connections, my network, and all that from Morris Brown College. It just did everything. It was everything that I needed in a college. And HBCUs, you just can't get it anywhere else.
You can't get it nowhere else. And the friendships that you garner during that time. Now, I graduated in 1983. Don't be trying to add that up. But that's what, don't be trying to add that up. But anyway,
I was in the 90s. We're going to keep it right there.
We're going to keep it right there. But I still have friends that I met when I enrolled in 1979. It's something about that community. It's something about the friendships that you get and garner, and wow, you just can't you can't let them go. And there are no others like it.
It's nothing like. It's the traditions too, like going back for homecoming and just celebrating. You
Yeah.
can't get
So
that everywhere.
I wasn't trying to bring too much homecoming up because this is TLC, which means the leadership church.
The leadership church.
And some things we just cannot talk about.
Well, we do a lot
But
of
it's
fundraisers during homecoming.
we do a lot of
We do
fundraisers,
good
right,
things.
during homecoming. But it's nothing like an
It's
HBCU
nothing like it.
homecoming. I
And
have gone. Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't know if I ever shared this with you, but my first week at Morris Brown, I almost had to go home. So I had
Really?
got a book scholarship for just $250 from the United Negro College Fund. And so when I got to go enroll, they said, we're going to drop your classes because you have a balance of over $3,000. So I called my
Wow.
mom. My mom said, Mom, I need $3,000. She said, I don't have no $3,000. Your scholarships didn't cover it. I said, no. So my mom actually made a call back down to the United Negro College Fund. She didn't know anyone down there. I believe she called somewhere in North Carolina. I think that's where they were headquarters at. My mom cried and told them the story. And they sent Morris Brown College, they sent them a letter saying that they will send them a check for their balance. And that's how I was able to stay at Morris Brown College.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something else.
Absolutely.
So encourage people to give, Ebony.
Yes. And I just want to encourage everybody, please support our students going to HBCUs. It will truly change their life, especially if they're going to Morris Brown College.
Thank you so much. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you for giving to our scholarship fund. Thank you for your willingness to want to come on and talk about your experience at Morris Brown College. We cannot thank you enough on behalf of the Leadership Church with our pastors, Pastor Tony and Alicia Cash. We can't thank you enough. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Y'all keep the donations coming now. I told y'all. Don't tell my mama that I said it like that. Please don't do it. She will call me right now. But I done told y'all. We are trying to meet at least $3,000 tonight. And I was just sent the total as of right now. We're at $2,201. $2,201. And all my math majors, put that in the chat right now and tell me what that is between that and 3,000. What is about 800 and some dollars? We trying to hit it now. We're trying to hit it. So we're going to keep this moving. We now have Mr. Lamar Handy of Payne College, who was, are we going to get Lamar? There we go. We have Lamar Handy of Payne College, who was willing to jump on this call and to tell us about why he chose Payne College, what Payne College means to him, and some of his experiences. And we hope that he will challenge others of Payne College or HBCUs or institutions in general to give tonight. Welcome, Mr. Lamar Handy.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. You see, I'm all excited.
Yes,
I'm very excited. I've been on a high all day when I knew this was coming up at 7:00 tonight, and I knew all the people such as yourselves who were so willing to jump on this call and who are willing to give as well. Lamar, we about $799 away.
I'm gonna commit tonight.
I just want to put that in your ear that we about $799 away. But welcome.
Yes,
Thank you for jumping on. Tell us about Payne College.
Yes, Payne College, dear to my heart. I graduated from Payne College in 2011, native of Athens, Georgia. Yes. So I was very ecstatic to go to Payne. The funny story about Payne is that actually, I wanted to go to Albany State at first. And just being transparent, I got so tired of taking different tests. I didn't want to go back and take the SAT. I was 10 points off. So I had some friends going to Payne. I got an acceptance letter in the mail, and I saw that I got a $4,000 scholarship. So I said, you know what? Let me try Payne College out. I go there for 1 year, and then I'm going to transfer to Georgia State to get to the big city of Atlanta. When I stepped on the campus of Payne College and just being greeted by the orientation team, the students that were there, the family love, the support, got there, started experiencing things, making friends, getting involved. I could not leave. My Payne College experience was the best. It's like a big family. Even though I had times where I went through, I only had $5 to my name, for a whole week. But I felt like I had $100 because I had the love and support of other people, and knowing that I wasn't going through that by myself. And so the experience that you receive at a HBCU is like none other. As many people have said tonight on the call, going back to homecoming, seeing those people that you went to class with, that you may have become a part of organizations with. Myself, I crossed Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated while at Payne College. I was Mr. Payne College. So I was just so involved, but I just really loved my HBCU. And so really talking about life lessons. Those lessons that I learned at Payne College has helped me through some of my toughest times here as an adult. So giving back to HBCUs to support those young people that are coming up is very, very important, to let them know that, no matter where you start, you can get there from here. And that's our slogan for Payne College. And so Payne College has made me the man that I am today. And so I can't help but love all HBCUs, because it's one of the experiences that if you haven't experienced it for yourself, you just won't understand sometimes. Even to this point now, I have friends that want to come with me to my homecoming just because of the love that they see when people get together. The experience, yes.
I remember as a high school senior, I had my first HBCU homecoming experience because my mom and 3 of my sisters attended Savannah State. Mm-hmm. And I had the pleasure of going to one of Savannah State's homecomings. I said, well, I'm HBCU from here on out.
Can't turn back.
It's nothing like it. Now, back then, Lamar, for homecomings, you had to go out and buy the sharpest outfit you could find. I'm talking about you had to step on that campus sharp. But the cool thing about right now, you got to find the slamminest T-shirt that you can find.
That's right.
Like it takes you a whole year to figure out now what my T-shirt is going to say or look like now.
That's right.
It is such an experience. Well, Lamar, we offer you the opportunity to give as well as to challenge others who are viewing us and listening to us to give to this Closer-Thon. We're trying to get that 700.
Yes.
99. We're trying to make it there. And we're on until 9 o'clock tonight. So the timepiece says, Joyce, you got 14, 16, 19 minutes to do it. Come on, Lamar, help me.
Y'all, come on, please. I'm going to also donate, but you all donate. Tell your friends, text them. Matter of fact, I took a picture of the actual links so that I can send it to my friends to donate. So please, we can make it. You don't understand that $1, $5, 10, 20, 100, 200, whatever can help change some person's life. Because again, HBCU is nothing like it at all. And once you get that experience, you never forget it. It'll be with you for the rest of your life. So you all, let's get on tonight. We can do it. We're not far at all. We got 14 minutes, 14 to 16 minutes.
Well,
so let's go and do it.
It's a 1 hour and 42 minutes.
Okay.
We end at 9 o'clock. And so all my mathematicians who are quick, give me what that number is. You see the gray hair? I graduated in 1983. So I just know
minutes, really.
it's some teen minutes.
That's right.
It's some teen minutes that we're trying to raise these dollars because of who we are out here trying to support. And we're out here trying to support our youth, our students who are graduating high school sometimes in May, and who have decided that they want to further their education at a predominantly Black college or university. Well, the Leadership Church is going to be there to assist and to help because of people like you and all of those who have donated tonight. So Lamar, thank you so much for jumping on, and go Payne College. Go Payne.
Right.
What is our mascot? What's your mascot?
We are a lion. Look, I have on my
we're lion. You're lions.
Have my pen is right. My Payne College pen right here. I wore today.
Okay. You were supposed to have Payne all the way across your chest.
I know. I just got home. I'm sorry.
But you look like you're a businessman, so you had to look business.
Payne College taught me that. They taught me that. So yes.
But thank you so much for for your giving. We appreciate you taking the time to come on and to just tell us about your Morris Brown, your Payne College experience, and your willingness to give to our Closer-Thon. We want to thank Nikki White for giving $300. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Nikki. And I want to bring up another Morris Brown night. She's actually my. Oh no, we don't. Stay there, Adrian, stay there, because I see Savannah State on your T-shirt. And if I mess up on that, and then I got to hear from my mom and my sisters about, I know you didn't. So, Adrian, thank you for coming on. I see you are a Savannah State graduate. Tell us about
daughter. No, I'm wearing this for my daughter. I'm here for my daughter.
You're a
Yes.
parent
Yes.
of a Savannah State student. Well,
Yep.
tell us about why is this but jumping on this call is it's important to you because you know you have a student there. And tell us, I know in the conversations that parent and child had that you talked about she going to Savannah State.
Yes. So my sister and her best friend, they went to Morris Brown. So I got to kind of see back on the HBCU experience. But when it came down to my daughter choosing a school, we went to, a couple of PWIs. We ended up choosing Savannah State University. Scholarships were really important to whatever school that she went to. And, I'm very appreciative of the scholarship she had, but I noticed a change in my child for going to an HBCU. She was very quiet, reserved, kind of a lot to herself. And I think even the first semester, it wasn't even the finish of the first semester, which is probably like a couple months. She had came home to visit and we had like a celebration in our family. And she was very outspoken. She ended up being the MC of the event. She was just a totally different person, more confident in herself. So I am a advocate all the way for an HBCU. Myself going to a PWI, I know I see the difference, and going to a PWI compared to those that have went to an HBCU. My other daughter is going to graduate next year, and she has her eyes on Tennessee State. So I am a full advocate. I'm telling all of you people, everyone out there, to donate. Scholarships are important. Give children the greatest experience that they can have as an African American student, to be around people that are like them, to encourage them, to uplift them. I have seen the change in my daughter. And if I had a choice to go back and change my mind to what school I did go to, it would be an HBCU from here on out. So.
Well, thank you, Adrian. Please encourage our viewers to give. We're trying to hit that 3,000 mark tonight. And yes. I haven't gotten an update, but I got a text from Phyllis Drayton, who said I'm giving $25. So that's going to add to my $7.99. Subtract that, and then that's how much we need. Yes. But we thank you for pushing your children to first attend a higher education, and then supporting them when they have chosen an HBCU. Can you encourage our viewers to give tonight?
Yes, I gave while I was in the waiting room. So it's very easy. Scan the QR code. Everybody's used to QR codes. Give. Scholarships are needed. Programs are being pulled back for our children. So programs like this, being able to donate to scholarships and letting them have the money so that they can go to a school and be around their community is very important. So give.
And I was just told that Jay Shay was your daughter.
Jasa is my daughter. Yes.
Jasa, that's it.
Yep.
That's your daughter. And she talked about, her experience, like she necessarily want, but when she got there, she fell in love. So
she did.
So
even her being on here is a testament of her being at an HBCU, because she probably would have never done that before. So
really? See, that's what we do. That's what we do. But
Yeah.
thank you again, Adrian.
Thank you.
We
All
appreciate
right.
you.
Donate.
Donate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You heard it from everybody who have been on this call tonight that they are encouraging you to donate. And they're just not pulling that from, just the air saying donate, donate, donate. They are saying it because they've experienced it. They either have children who have experienced it or they have experienced it themselves and what it meant and means to them. My line sister, she was number one and I was number nine. I was last, she was the first.
Hey.
And when I sent the call out to my Marsh Brown and line sisters and all, she jumped on this call because when I tell you, if you don't know, true dedication to your alma mater, this one here is true dedication to Marsh Brown College because it just didn't start with her. This is Narissa, and I just call her, Sarah Narissa. This is, and she, was it your mom and your grandfather? And how far did it go back in the lineage?
Keep going.
Of Marsh Brown College? Keep going. What? Tell us how far it goes back as alumni of Marsh Brown College.
I am the fourth generation in my family. It started off with my great grandmother. She went back to college in, I think, 1903. And she spent a couple of years in the normal program at Morris Brown and got her degree in 1905. So we have over 120 years invested. Both of my mother's parents, my great grandmother's son, Henry Thornton, met Amelia Hall. My grandparents met at Morris Brown in the 1920s. Then Morris Brown was a university. So they both got their undergrads. My grandfather got also his doctorate of divinity degree from Morris Brown. My grandmother taught the kindergarten because it was a university. It went from kindergarten through that doctorate of divinity. In 1952, my parents met at Morris Brown and they graduated in the class of 1956. I was in the Little Miss Morris Brown pageant in 1968 as a 3-year-old. So I've always been around Morris Brown. I am because of Morris Brown, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for Morris Brown. I'm also the mother of the 5th generation because my oldest son, Joshua, graduated from Morris Brown in 2012. So
Morris Brown just in y'all's blood, okay?
I was just about to say, you cut us and we bleed purple.
You know what, Narissa? That's all you gotta say.
Amen.
That says it right there.
Since we're collecting, let's pass the plate.
That says it all. That as far back as 1905, is that what you said?
That was
as far back as 1905,
Mm-hmm.
you all have had representation of Marsh Brown College in your family.
Right.
That says a lot right there.
Right. And that's your straight line. Now we have some cousins because actually my grandfather's sister Beulah and my grandmother's sister Rachel graduated together in 1928. Mm-hmm. So, we kind of go out some. We have cousins that went to school with my parents, in the 50s and things like that. So it's not just, I'm straight line, the 4th generation. Then we have, those that have branched out and some of their kids have gone, to Morris Brown and everything. Like I said, hey, you cut us, we're going to bleed purple.
So you knew you had to go.
I didn't have to.
Because of the lineage.
My mother kept saying, you can go anywhere. I told them in the 2nd grade, because I had been up in Morris Brown, I used to go to the football games and the parades. I have had the total Morris Brown experience, climbing the trees, and all kinds of stuff.
Hanging on the bridge, standing on the wall, hanging out.
All of it, and my mother was like, well, you can go anywhere. I was like, I told y'all in the 2nd grade, I was going to Morris Brown. So I got a full academic scholarship. Mm-hmm. That was in 1981. And the full academic scholarship was $10,200
$200. That was for 4 years to let you know how tuition has gone up a lot, and why we need to support this effort, and help our kids to want to go to the HBCUs and support them financially, and just have their backs. But yeah, $10,200 was my full 4 year scholarship.
Wow. Well, Melissa, sorry, Melissa, my beautiful, loving line sister. If you find it in your heart, give, and or if will encourage all of our viewers and listeners to give to this Closer-Thon as well.
Oh yes, most definitely. Give, because our children need us. We need to fund these next generations for HBCUs. Everybody else is trying to shut us down, but we're not going back to where we did not have our HBCUs. We need them. The children need it. Hey, we got to keep this going. That's why I had my head down when you said I'm up next. I was trying to do my donation. I'm going to finish that up as soon as I get off. But hey, we have got to give. Hey, somebody did it for us. We have to do it for
We
the
got to
next
do it for
generation.
them. Right.
Yeah. Look, and I'm looking forward to the 6th generation coming out of Morris Brown from my family. Sometime,
So we got to keep it there for them.
Yeah, most definitely.
But thank you, my line sister. Thank you, my alumni friend, for coming on, jumping on, giving a contribution as well as challenging others to do so. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the lineage of your history of Morris Brown. We appreciate you, and we can't thank you enough. And when I'll see you. I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see each other soon. Already.
We'll see each other soon. Thank you so much. And we got to keep it going on now. He was at our engagement meeting today at the radio station. And so I said, Derek Bozeman, I'm going to need you to jump on this call tonight because of the Leadership Church doing a Closer-Thon, raising money for scholarships for our deserving students who are headed to an HBCU. And Derek is all about the students. One of the organizations that he's a part of is called Let Us Make Man. They give scholarship to hundreds of deserving men who are going to school, whether it's a HBCU or any other institution. They do this on a regular basis. So I knew he was one of the people that I needed to get on this call to talk about, and he is a Morris Brown graduate as well, but to talk about the importance of supporting our students. So welcome, Derek.
Joyce, it's great to be with you. As you can see, I haven't even made it home from the engagement meeting. I'm literally minutes away from my house, but I thought it's important, the work that the Leadership Church continues to do around this whole issue of elevating historically Black colleges and universities. Because when you look at the numbers, 70% of Black doctors graduate from HBCUs. The vast majority of accountants, most of your Black lawyers started at HBCUs. And so we know the numbers suggest that they are critical, they are important. And you and I shared a great alma mater, Morris Brown College, along with your line sister, Narissa, whose lineage, if people miss that, you're talking 5-6 generations since 1905. I mean, my God. So these are incredibly important institutions. And the only way they stay vibrant and viable is if we support them, just like what you're doing tonight.
Well, thank you, Derek, for jumping on and sharing that. I mean, I know what Morris Brown did for me, and as you can hear and have heard throughout the night, what these HBCUs have done for so many people. We can go on all night tonight to share these stories. So, Derek, would you please encourage others to support this cause that we are having, or when they hear of any organization? I know tomorrow you will be doing a Black History program tomorrow live from your show from 4 to 7 at First Iconian. And it's that kind of behavior of our community to lend and show support that we got this because we can do it together. So would you please encourage people to support this cause and help support our students of HBCUs?
No, look, it's an easy ask, and the reason we support this cause and what the Leadership Church is doing, because if you got a black doctor, you probably came from a HBCU. If you got a black attorney, probably came from a HBCU. Morris Brown at one time graduated almost 99% of those who came through the nursing program. Mr. Burnett, most of your certified public accountants, public teachers came off the campuses of these historically black colleges and universities. And so I would say give because we know that there's some child has to make a decision whether they're going to be able to get back the second semester. And I will tell you, Joyce, what you find is, just a few $100s sometimes separates whether that child can continue to matriculate or not. And so I don't know where you're at. I think you said a few minutes ago you had $7.99 or somewhere thereabout.
We are at, hold on, Derek. We are at $2,976. Now our goal is 3,000, but we don't mind going over now. We don't mind. So that's where we are. Thank you to all the people who have donated.
So let me add my 250 to that. I was gonna split it in half, but now I'm gonna make it. I'll add my 250 so that you can exceed your goal. And I want to encourage others. It's easy for me to give 250. I just came from dinner that almost cost me that, but it's easy to give, and I want to encourage others to do the same because the need is going to be greater than what we anticipate. So give generously to this effort. All right, and if you can exceed the 250, fine, but give generously to it because ultimately it ends up buying books for some young child, some young student. It ends up paying lab fees. It ends up helping that child to be able to stay in their community. So that's critically important.
Okay. Well, thank you, Derek. Thank you for your contribution of $250. If you need to know the way to donate, just hit me up and I'll send that link to you. But we appreciate all the work that you do in the community to help move our young students forward. You do a lot of work, and you are so willing to help others do the work that we are trying to do to support them as well. So thank you so much. And I'm glad that on your drive home you still made this call. And we'll see you tomorrow at the Black History program tomorrow.
I appreciate you, Joyce. Send me the link and we'll take care of that tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our last call is another good friend of mine. She runs a phenomenal PR firm. It's called Chit Chat Communication, and she goes by the name of Carla Morrison. Carla, you got to turn your camera on. I know it's a little dark, but you got to turn your camera on. Carla graduated.
You can't see my face.
We won't keep you long, but she graduated from Bowie State University in Maryland. Thank you, Carla, for coming in. And we just want you to talk about a little about your experience at Bowie State and to encourage people to give.
Well, I went to Bowie State, and I was one of those really focused students. I was all about the newspaper, so I was the entertainment editor of my school newspaper, and I took that job seriously. And that really was the highlight because in writing for the newspaper, I developed my networking skills, and I'm a massive networker, as you know, but it came out of going to Bowie State and then just kind of teaching me how to use my voice. I'm driving too, y'all, so I apologize for that.
Be careful.
I am. That's why I'm not looking y'all in the face. I'm keeping my eyes on the road.
Please do.
But yeah, and Bowie, going to Bowie State University, I even got the chance to take a road trip with other classmates down here to Atlanta to attend the Black Radio Conference. I don't know if you remember that conference.
Yes, I do.
Yes, and that was so exciting. That's where I met some of my best friends who I'm still in contact with to this day. So Bowie, did a lot for me with my career and development of just being able to use my voice because despite what you may think, Joyce, I was actually a very shy young lady and still can be, but more quiet. I'll say that. I was a quiet young lady, but I had to learn how to speak up for myself. And at Bowie State, I did learn that. First, learning my pitch on how to introduce myself, and then just developing my networking skills. And then I'm a part of a sorority, so I joined the sorority, a sisterhood. So that opened me up to being connected to more people than I'm used to because it was always just me and my sister. And my mom and dad, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, Carla, I know you're driving, and I want you to keep your eyes on the road and be safe. Would you encourage our viewers to give to this Closer-Thon as we are raising money to help our HBCU students?
Yeah, definitely. I pray that everybody who is on this call or can see this video will give. We all need to give. I'm going to give as well because it's important. I know we actually have some students out of Atlanta, Georgia, who attend Bowie State. And so, they're always asking, Miss Carla, do y'all have any scholarship money, for just little things? So, and we give to them. So little things can, little bit can go a long way. I mean, just toiletries and things like that are needed. Sometimes they don't really have that to buy the things that they actually need. So any little bit helps. It can go a long way.
Well, Carla, thanks for your contribution. I will send you the link so you can make that contribution. And thank you for jumping on and letting us know that Bowie State is out there. And
Yeah, Bowie
it
State
is
here.
it's
And
a private.
I'm the president of the Georgia chapter, so the alumni chapter. So I gotta really let y'all know Bowie State is in the house.
All right. Bowie State is in the house. Thank you, Carla. Keep your eyes on the road. Get home safe. And we thank you for jumping on this call and making the contribution. Hey, y'all, we have made it to the end. But guess what? We have exceeded our goal. We have raised so far $3,226. Come on, make some noise for TLC. That's the Leadership Church. And to close us out, our pastors, Pastor Tony Cash and Pastor Alicia Cash, is just to come on and to say thanks for what you have done in our help to support our students at HBCUs, our upcoming students who are graduating from high school and have chosen an HBCU to attend. And sometimes, as Carla and so many, even Zoe, our very own Zoe, she's a member of the Leadership Church, but she's also a student at Alabama State, who have said she didn't realize how much it costs to buy some tissue. So, when we are in a position to help those students, it's nothing like if Zoe were to call the Leadership Church and say, hey, I need XYZ for XYZ. I know these two right here, my pastors, they are going to be there to help us. And we are able to do that because of all of the contributions that you have made tonight. And we cannot thank you enough. So now I invite my pastors, Pastor Alicia Cash. She came on to open up this Closer-Thon, and we are welcoming our lead pastor, Pastor Tony Cash, to close us out.
Absolutely. Pastor, is there anything you want to say before I close us out? Absolutely. Well, let me say just how proud I am of all of you, from Pastor E to Elder Jeanette Prologue to Janae, Minister Janae, and most of all to our most adorable talented, gracious mouthpiece for the Leadership Church, Dr. Joyce Littell. When I tell you she is a mouthpiece for the Leadership Church, she is a cheerleader for the Leadership Church, and she loves her church. And we can get on her last nerve, but she's gonna cheerlead for her church, and that's the kind of person she is. So if you are out there and you're in the chat, can you help me give it up for our host tonight, Dr. Joyce Littell? Put it in the chat. Guys, blow up the chat because she has done an amazing work. There's a scripture that says, this is marvelous in our sight, and this is God's doing. And Joyce, we are just proud to know you, to work alongside you in this ministry. And I just want to say to everyone who has watched this amazing Closer-Thon, how important you are to the cause. Whether you can give or not, you're important to the cause, because your prayers and your well wishes and your cheerleading for what we're doing, it matters. Every little bit matters. And so maybe tonight you can't give, but maybe pay. See, I had someone just text me, Dr. Joyce, who said, my gift will come next week. And so maybe tonight you can't give, but maybe next week you can. We are committed to making sure that 100% of what we get from this go to deserving students. Students who may need the books, may need just $300 more to just get over that bridge they say they have at Morris Brown. I got to go see the bridge. But I tell you what, I'm so excited. I was over here cheerleading, saying, give me an H, give me a C, give me a C, give me a U. What do you have? HBCU. That's how excited you all got me tonight. And I'm a goals-oriented person, so I like exceeding goals. So I just want to thank all of you. And if I missed your name, please charge it to my head and not my heart. I want to thank the Leadership Church, because if you are looking at this tonight, you're seeing that size is not the most important thing. You're saying it's the heart that matters. And that's what the Leadership Church is about. If you're looking for somewhere, you say, I want to go somewhere where there's passion, where they care about our community. That's what you're seeing tonight. It's not all we clapping and shouting and dancing. We recognize that Jesus said that we must love. We must love our neighbors. We must give to the downtrodden. We must give to the poor. And so as I close out, one of my heroes, Dr. Martin Luther King, when I was a little boy, and I get emotional every time I tell this story. I was in the 7th grade. I didn't know what was possible in life. I was poor. Matter of fact, in the 7th grade, I had my most humiliating moment. I had on a pair of jeans, and a mishap happened where they had a hole in the wrong place, and I was humiliated. And I went home, the little black boy, I was humiliated. But one day they showed a video of Dr. Martin Luther King preaching. And I kid you not, I said, that's what I want to be. And I later found out that Dr. Martin Luther King went to an HBCU, Morehouse College. And I've never turned back. I went from being humiliated to being inspired by a man who graduated from an HBCU. And I want you to know that's the power of the HBCU. It can take a little boy like me who was embarrassed and hurt, and it can change one life, one student at a time. And I am who I am today because I looked up to Dr. Martin Luther King who attended an HBCU, and he showed me that all things are possible if you just believe. That's why this is important, because there's a child who's going to see an HBCU graduate, and that graduate is going to inspire that little child to believe that you can come from humble beginnings and you can really be somebody in this world. So, my family and I, Pastor Elisha Cash, Jackson and Kennedy, we want to make sure that from our household that we give a total of $500 towards this cause, because we know that it matters. Our daughter will be attending at Alabama State University. And so, we know that we've got some tuitions to pay, and she's going to need some books. And we hope that someone one day see her and shoot her a little something, So, we hope we reap what we sow, but we want to give back to our community. And Joyce, I know you stand with me in saying this won't be the last time you see us.
No.
We'll be back. We'll be cheerleading for these causes. You'll see this ministry cheerlead over the next 4 years for the health and welfare of our Black community. And we promise to be honest with every dollar, to make sure that every dollar goes exactly where we say it's going to go. So I want to thank all of you. Such an honor to lead an amazing ministry like the Leadership Church. There are times we have ups, downs, challenges, but I truly believe that I lead the greatest church in America, and I love all of them. And this is a place you want to be if you want to make a difference in this world. So again, thank you so much for being a part of tonight's program. May God continue to bless you and your family, and may your heart always find a place to give just one more time. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Tony. And it is such a pleasure to be a member of the Leadership Church, because they are so community. I am a community person. I've always liked to be out there helping. I've never been one to be in front, but somehow I get pushed out there and I got to do what I got to do. But I cannot thank them enough, Pastor Tony Cash and Pastor Elisha Cash, for having the desires of their hearts to do what needs to be done to support our community. I did get a text from one of the people who would have come on the show tonight, representing Morehouse. He said, unfortunately, he got turned around and having to do something else, but he will give a contribution. He didn't say what, so now I'm going to tell him what he got to give to this cause, Daryl Killian. And our grand total as of now, and you can continue to give, we're going to have the sneaker ball and award these scholarships in May. So between now and May, you can continue to give. And for those of you who have given, as Pastor Tony have said, the thumbs up that Pastor E gave is that we appreciate, we love, and we thank you for it. So right now, our grand total is $3,726. We exceeded it. And I cannot thank you enough. Wednesday nights, 7:00, you can tune in to the Closer Experience. That's where we just talk and have conversation on our podcast of bringing you closer to God. If you are not a member of a church, then we cannot encourage you enough to become a member of the Leadership Church. You already see what we do. And we learn about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So you can always text us at 855-960-2220. That's 855-960-2220, or go to theleadchurchatl.com. Find out all you need to know about the Leadership Church. But coming from my mouth to your ear, I promise you, if you want to grow closer to God, if you want to know and understand what your responsibility is as a Christian man or woman, girl, boy, or child, then come to the Leadership Church and we will definitely show you. We love you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for being here with us on our Black History Month HBCU Closer-Thon. Have a wonderful night.